So, Gay, we wanted to talk best of NAMM. I'm not sure what happened. I apologize for we don't know if it was my internet or if it's in our modem, whatever. All I know for sure is that my children know that they don't touch the computers or the internet on Monday nights. Beyond that, I can't tell you. So, NAMM, guys, we're going to talk about a couple of things, a couple of standout things. MJ, you had started out with something and then we lost, so let's start it again.
All right. One of the things, and for those of you who aren't live or watching this repeated, that you guys are tuning in, there's so much stuff at NAMM. I mean, I literally put up a spreadsheet last week to keep track of, and I sent John the spreadsheet, brand by brand, which products that I had done a video for, or I did a text, like a little article or whatever, so that I keep track that I wouldn't double any of them. And there was like 60 some products alone that I just did, little beeps on. And just to say a big shout out to the Disc Jockey News crew, from all the videos that were put up on all of our websites, we've got over 40,000 hits in less than like about a week. So, just over a week, which I think is really, really good. That shows that people like what we're doing and, want to see more. And that's what I hope we get to do. But seeing more, this is one of the things that caught my attention at NAMM, not because it's some great, incredible controller, because like I said, we get overloaded by this stuff. Every company puts out, has controllers, and then every company has bunches of lights. So when somebody comes out with something unique, it kind of catches us. And I missed this one, and I don't really know how I missed it, and a lot of other news sites missed this also. It is Numark put out their own power strip. So I kind of thought that was neat. I'm going to read down through it again here. 6 surge-protected AC power sockets, 4 USB 3.0 Type A's, 1 USB 3.0 Type B, 1 2.1 amp USB Type A connector, and that's for like charging mobile phones, because the regular one is 2, iPad is 2.4, and a quick charge like for my Note 4 is a 3 amp. So it can do all of those. But I thought it was the kind of a neat thing that they're putting out stuff like that is beyond DJing equipment. It's stuff to make your DJ equipment safe. It's stuff that you can put together in a little box, your case or your coffin, and have everything there in one quick spot. Charging your phone, any other peripheral that has to run off of a powered USB, it's all there, and surge protected. So I thought that was kind of neat. It
was interesting, MJ, you mentioned that a lot of people missed it, and we would have missed it at their booth, except it was one of those things that it was, okay, is there anything else? Because we spent almost 2 hours between Alto and Denon and all the in-music brand of companies that had new gear. This was just like by the way, kind of a thing. Yeah. So, I mean, it wasn't just... It just was there. And that's a durable, that's a metal casing, and that's a tool. So definitely a cool thing.
Just think about all the things that some of the people use, USB peripheral power on and stuff like that. Now that you don't have to have anything separate, and it works as its own hub. So now it's a hub, not just a thing to plug into. It's a hub. So you now have a surge protected hub to work off of.
For sure. Yeah. Cool stuff. I'll jump in next. One of the things that I thought was very, very cool, and I had it up here just a few seconds ago, Denon, we talked about the controller a lot, but the Denon with their new, the VL12 turntable. I wonder if I can show this. Let me see if... But the VL12, my audio is going right to everyone all out there in the internet world. But the VL12, a brand new turntable. It's a prototype, is what they had on display at the show, because there's going to be some minor tweaks and such. But the VL12 definitely has I think a great look. And they took the cover off. This last year at NAMM with the MC4000, they had it under plastic and we couldn't touch it. They actually took the cover off so we could touch it and get a feel for it. And it really has a quality feel. Now, again, that's me not touching them all the time. So a guy who owns a couple of Technics 1200 came over there when he saw the cover was off, and he's like, "Ooh, I want to play!" And he was really impressed with the tactile feel of the VL12. So that's going to be, I think, a big thing, but it's probably going to be 6 months down the line, because again, this was prototype and they've got to finish that and then get it into circulation.
Yeah.
Can I rant on turntables for a second?
Please do, because I want to also.
Okay.
You speak on this.
Okay, so as you know, I have techniques. I actually got a whole stack in the garage of some ones that I modified. I switched to the re-loops. I absolutely love the re-loops, and a lot of good comments on my reviews about it. But every time it's another DJ, oh, those aren't techniques. Those aren't any good. Techniques has been around since the '80s. Blah blah blah. Jazzy Jeff recently said the smartest thing I've heard anybody say about this. The techniques were never designed for DJs. It was just by chance that, the DJs picked up on it and said, hey, this is really good for scratching and for mixing and that sort of thing. And since then, it's, even though it was an audiophile turntable, I think it's been used by more DJs than audiophiles. But not once has Panasonic or Technics ever been to a DJ show. Not once have they supported a single DJ. You've got these other companies that have come out with better turntables, better torque, better features. Look, I love the Technics, but they have terrible torque compared to some of the stuff that's out there right now from companies like whether it's Numark or Pioneer, Denon, Reloop. They've always supported DJs in the shows. And yet DJs keep riding on the jock of Panasonic as, they were made in the 80s and they've lasted me since then. Well, I've seen Techniques fail. That's why Technique repair shops still exist. Rant over.
I'm going to expand upon that rant because this is the same thing. These are the same people who, if you look in their life, they're wearing the same clothes they wore in the 80s, the same hairstyle. Okay, and you say, oh, no, but younger people. This is a scientific fact. This is one of the things I studied when I was in college, that people tend to get stopped in the happiest point of their life, okay? And they don't like to change for the most part. So if someone learns on a piece of equipment, they don't want to change. I hear so many DJs complain when Pioneer comes out with a new CDJ because they don't think it feels the same as the old one. So that's how picky people can get. They just don't want to try new things. They don't want to learn things. And I've heard people say that also. Well, I would like to try a controller, but I just don't want to learn something new because it is a total different feel. And the same way with the Techniques, if you're used to giving a hesitation because that torque is going to be a little bit different and you go on to one that just simply does not have any kind of delay or anything, it's going to blow your mind and you have to relearn when to release that record. So there's my rant.
Mm-hmm.
Try something new, people.
Yeah, no kidding.
Get out of your mother's basement. Sorry. That was okay. Arnoldo, what do you got? What was it?
I got two products, and MJ, I know you mentioned one already. First is the ADJ Wi-Fi pack, conveniently because that was the area I was stuck at the entire time. So ADJ brought me out because I do a lot of reviews and all that. Like, hey, we want you to talk about our new softwares. It pretty much just sat down to talk about the new Airstream stuff. So the Airstream pack is pretty much, okay, cool. So we basically have 8 individual ports. And that little antenna connects directly to your phone. So it makes an ad hoc network. But the cool thing is, and something that we didn't talk too much online, is that you can connect 4 of these. So you can actually control 32 of the outlets. But not only can you switch them on or off, you can also shut off the latch mode so you can drum on it. So if you're just doing this for a band, you got a bunch of old school park amps, you can just sit there and click like crazy and just create some cool effects. Or if you have multiple strobes or whatever the case may be. But this is more for just DJs. Like if you do rentals, or I know a lot of the guys out there do haunted mansions, you can also either make your own chases or even do them by calendar trigger. So you can say at 8 o'clock, I want this switch to turn on and I want it to turn off at this time. And once you disconnect your iPad, it'll still work because it saves it directly onto the pack itself. I thought it was really cool because one of the things that I always continuously see every time I do videos, whether it's on my DMX or CompuShow or whatever DMX software, well, I don't do DMX. There's still a lot of guys out there that just want plug and play. And, even if it's a simple wedding, we have a couple of moonflowers, but you don't want those moonflowers going off in the middle of the first dance. So I thought that was something cool. I'm excited about it because, honestly, they're going to go up in my attic, so I don't have to automate my entire house for $2,500. It's just going to cost me about $300 to get 3 of those packs, and I'm good to go.
I never even thought about that for a home use. OMG.
Well, think about it. I mean, that's how it works. Oh, and they have the LED dummies built in. So, like when you put in a light bulb in your ceiling thing, you use your remote, you got to put a dummy load on. Well, it already has a dummy load built in, so that way it's not going to mess with your LED lights. Then the other one is this thing.
Oh, wait, whoa. You better wait your turn. You
said 2.
Yeah, this is one. You just did your first one. Now MJ starts with his second.
The third one, if you count the rant. No, no, it's good. I like the rant too.
I'm only hearing every other word.
Sorry.
Okay. Didn't Jason just do a whole thing about listening?
I think he did.
The next one I'm going to talk about, you can't buy. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because when we just talked about a little bit ago, was that on the other section? They didn't go on Arnoldo was talking about the new dashboard by Numark. Did we talk about that already?
We did, and that's when we started having problems.
That was the first. That was in the show that's going to that will never see the light of day, probably.
Okay, for those of you, real quick here, they come out. ADJ come out with a just like the NS. Something not ADJ. Sorry, I'm just giving you some props there.
Yeah, more subliminal messages.
Numark came out with a thing just like their NS7 screens that can be used on anything, including non-Numark products can have the 3 screens. Okay, and we talked about a few minutes ago the fact that as a DJ, I like to have a big screen so I can see lots of songs and a keyboard where I can type constantly because I'm constantly looking for songs like that, and it makes it really difficult on the small screens. But this was out at Pioneer's booth, hidden. So we're taking a look from that screen where I think everything's screen happy right now to Pioneer doing this as an advertisement. It is called their tour series. Now you have to look really close at this. This is meant for a big tour, things going on, a bunch of people using it, but there's technology and stuff in here that I think you're going to see very soon. Look at the top of the controller there. What do you see?
They had monitors.
An easy way to view adult films while you're DJing.
Or that, yes. Cartoons, too, if you choose that. No, but they're built in and folding down. You see how that's all kind of put in there together? Yep. So now you have the bigger screen to talking about that we never had before that is there, that if you choose to, it gives an option to where you can now just, switch over, fold it down, and take that with you, and you have your screens. And since they have the built-in computer stuff, you don't have to have a computer, but you still have a screen, and that's what it would look like sitting in front of you. And I thought that was kind of impressive and thought, with the adding of screens and the cheaper the screens are going to go in the future, we're going to see bigger screens and thinner screens and stuff put on them. And I think, I don't know, but like I said, everybody that I talk to, we're all DJs who do stuff where you have to do requests and stuff like that. We need a keyboard to search quickly, and we need a screen where we can see a lot of songs. Looking down at this little thing down there and doing a little scroll. Denon came out, and I know I'm talking a lot, I'm sorry, but Denon on their 1200s a little bit ago, trying to get it all out so quick. They had this, but the fact that you can only see like 3 or 4 songs at a time. Denon had this years ago, and you're going to see 3 or 4 songs at a time. It's a pain in the butt to search through stuff that way. That's why the little screen on the Pioneers is a pain. Put a bigger one like that, I think it's going to kick butt.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that thought they were hideous? I think of the whole concept of having this big giant screen in front of your system to get rid of the laptop because the screen is too big and in front of the system. I don't get it. It's beyond stupid to me. Like
to make, I'm just to clarify, you're saying that putting a small screen, was dumb, or putting
the small screen. I get it. You know what? This is mostly for club DJs. They have everything in a couple of USB sticks. They're not like mobile guys that have to have their entire library at all times.
Let me rephrase that on there. Not club DJs, because club DJs are like me, where you're searching constantly all night. You're talking about guys who go out and do a set, place to place.
No, that's what I'm talking about. The set DJs at the club and all that, right? Not like open format or anything like that. I'm talking like the guys, okay, I've got the set, come in, get out, and leave. The big clubs. That's what I'm talking about. But then you have this huge giant screen. It's hideous. Like the whole point was to get rid of Serato face where you're staring at the computer. Okay, I can understand that logic. A laptop's too big, it looks weird off to the side. Okay. Now we have what looks to be one of those 1995 fold-out DVD players. When I was at the booth, I talked, my wife was with me. I'm like, oh, that must be for the demo. And one of the guys like, oh no, that's, a new tour product. I'm like, oh no. Just have your laptop off to the side. It's just the same thing.
Okay. Let's flip the script on that. Take the screen off the player, put it on the mixer, no computer, single screen attached to the mixer, nothing else.
They did that already. Remember the huge giant video mixer the Pioneer did a while back? Back when the DJJ1000s came out? Oh, man.
Yes. Wow. Gosh.
And I guess it didn't do so well because, of course, it had no HDMI. You know, at a time when everybody was using HDMI, it just had S video. And DJ said, "Oh, we don't want big screens." So it's almost like we're traveling back in time or something.
And the whole phone thing, we tried to have the smallest phone in the world. Let's make phones smaller. Let's make phones smaller. Now, okay, let's make them bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, you know,
it's ironic, Arnoldo, that you mentioned the kind of going back in time. When I saw that, I expected that to be kind of a historical piece in there. As I walked up to it, I'm thinking, oh, this must be something from like early on. And then somebody explains like, no, this is our new tour stuff. And it's like, oh, okay.
It's hideous. It was the SVM 1000 that had the big screen on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
My opinion on all that is simply you can do the small screens, big screens, doesn't matter, but give me a keyboard because I have to do a lot of typing.
Yeah, that's in my situation. I'm in the same way. Okay, my second one. There's the next one is I'm going to do speakers for this one, and there were two different speakers. I'm going to talk about one and not so much the other one. Pioneer with their new speakers, or the PRX series of speakers. Is that what it was, guys? I believe it was.
I don't remember. But their setup looks really good.
Yeah,
like
Pioneer,
they had some really attractive looking ones.
Pioneer came out with the new speakers. We've got a video up on that Jay Brandon took us through. Go out to the YouTube channel and look at that. Those are pretty awesome. The one I wanted to talk to you about, though, what's that?
They're the powered ones?
Yeah, the new powered speakers. Yep.
I have pictures if you want that.
Yeah. Well, let's jump to the Numark or the Mackie Reach. Okay. That's what I want to talk about. The Mackie Reach was kind of here's another one that almost came under the radar in many ways because we didn't get much of anything for press release on this one. But the Mackie Reach is a line array speaker. I can't remember all the different, but it has a front firing line array, and it also has a couple of side fill speakers that can be used as monitors for live sound applications. Could be used as a karaoke monitor for that situation. And they're bragging that this will have 220 degree dispersion. Because of those, it has the ability to control the mixer and things with an iPad. I don't know if I can share pictures here.
How's that? Is that the one you're talking about?
That's the one. Good. You've got it there. But if you take a look at that picture, gang, they're showing it being controlled by a cell phone, but you can control this by the phone or the iPad. You can control the different gains, inputs, limiting compression. Everything can be handled via your phone or your mobile device there. You can see on the picture on the very far, well, both of the pictures, you can see that they put the horns in there and they kind of make them so they're articulating a little bit. So you've got one to the left, one shooting straight ahead, and one shooting to the right. You're going to zoom into that a bit there, MJ. There you go. And that, of course, is giving you that very wide dispersion, and that's even before those two little speakers on the bottom on the two sides there, if you can scroll down. Somewhere down on the bottom there, you really can't see them in this picture, but yeah, they're down there.
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
So it was a very intriguing sound device. I think for some applications, one of the big drawbacks is the price tag. This is mapping out at $1,000 per speaker, so that could be definitely a drawback. But for the to be able to use that, say, as a karaoke host and have a speaker with your monitors and everything built in and a decent quality, it might be something for you guys to look at.
Can you say karaoke one more time, John?
Karaoke.
Hey, real quick, you mentioned line arrays. Did you guys get a chance to hear that Beta 3 system from Omni Systems, their line array?
I've heard it before, yeah.
It was impressive. The bass, I mean, you could hear it, and it was rocking it. So kudos to Omni System because it's a power line array, really affordable. I mean, for the production guys, it was impressive. I was waiting to hear the catch, the but no, it was very clean sounding.
Yeah, yep, they are a nice little cabinet. Okay, Arnoldo, what's your second?
I mean, obviously, it's an ADJ product because I was pretty much there 99% of the time.
They didn't let you out.
No, I walked around, and I have a rant about that, but I'll go into that in a second. And that's the Airstream DMX.
Once a month from now on, we have to have an Arnoldo rant night. Just
I keep telling you. No, so there's two reasons I'm very fond of this. One, there's tons of iPad control products. Elation was actually one of the first ones to release a product, but that was controlled with the iPad. But this is built from the ground up. If you guys remember the Show Designer series that ADJ had years ago, the same guy that developed the chips, developed the software, pretty much everything except the sticker in the back. But what's really cool about it is it gives you full control of any DMX control device from your iPad. And the effects generator is so powerful. Like you could even track a moving head just by moving it with your finger. It'll record that, even how fast you moved it around. I was able to program a couple of lights, like I did some sample wedding programs, grand intros, everything like that. And it literally took within like 5 minutes and add a whole bunch of lights ready to go for a wedding with a bunch of scenes. It's really cool. So you basically have two antennas. You got a Wi-Fi. So, this is our EXR. It's 2,500 feet away. And then you have the Wi-Fi to connect to your phone or iPhone or iPad. But yeah, we got a lot of attention on there. And that was my station that I was watching the whole time. But the reason I'm real partial to it is because I've been working with Ken, who's a developer. It's like, look, here's the feedback from users. He's on the Facebook group, and he's been adding features left and right the DJs have been wanting. So if that's something you guys are interested in, now's your chance to say, hey, I want to see this, because he is like coding like a madman.
Wow.
Can I give you my rant now?
Well, we have more rants to go.
I think what you can do by putting those two items together in the same house.
Actually, well, okay, so here's the thing. Like I said, I was really working most of the ADJ booth the entire time, but are we the only industry that actually has different booths at NAMM every year? I felt like everybody else, we were seeing the exact same products as the year round. My wife goes around, takes photo of all the booths. We're comparing this year against last year, and half of the booths were exactly the same.
Yes, and an interesting thing, and I'll to add to that, is the number of companies that are multi-companies where they've got many under them, and some of them had nothing new to show. So didn't, as an example, and I have to pick on them, but Sherwin Vega, they weren't there. They had their speakers there in their room, but they really didn't, because they didn't have anything new to show. And some of the companies, there was more of that this year, I think, than I've seen in the past. The companies didn't have anything to show, so we didn't bring anything.
Well, and then you have, again, I'll pick on QSC for a minute, but how often are they going to keep showing the K-Series? It's been years now, and they're still there. Duh, we know this. And I don't know if you guys noticed this, but, we sure did. There were a lot more end users than dealers, and I feel like dealers are thinking, why am I going to spend all that money to go to NAMM when everybody's already shown this online, or it's the same thing, from last year. There's nothing really new. And this isn't just on our industry. This is in general. A lot of the guitar makers, drums, they were all the same things they had in the previous years.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, because I know some of my dealer connections, some of the, 4 or 5 of them didn't make it this year, and they usually go every year. And this year they're like, we see the same thing year after year after year.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was my rant.
Cool.
Are the booths there more expensive than at any of the other DJ expos? Being that's one for a lot of different musical scenes. Is it comparison more expensive as to a DJ expo, Mobile Beat, whatever?
I actually don't know the pricing, and believe it or not, a lot of these companies don't tell anybody anything, not even their own employees, about that, for obvious reasons. I do know that NAMM is obviously a lot more expensive than any DJ convention, a lot more. I'm curious how it compares against LDI or Infocom. And mark my words, and I'm sure you guys already know this, Infocom is going to be the top dog in our industry. In my opinion, they've already trumped LDI. This year's Infocom was just phenomenal. Tons of new product innovation all the way across. So I'm curious, between those three, who has the most expensive booth?
I do know that Infocom is the biggest place for John to complain about the heat. I do know that. he gets there. Not it's beautiful. Not whatever. I'm so hot I'm going to die. That was his first...
Well, okay, so the best part is, this year was obviously in Florida. And it's weird because I personally, as much as I hate Florida, I'd rather work here. Because, here I can climb trussing, I can do whatever I need, and we get set up and broken down quickly. And in California or Vegas, I get yelled at by some old dude for climbing my own truss. Hey, you can't do that. You're not qualified. That's funny because I'm up here and you're down there, so I'm pretty qualified. That's the wrong answer to give the fire marshal, people. Take notes. But it was funny because, all the ADJ guys, they're from California. Obviously, John, you're from Minnesota, where the warmest it's ever been has been -10. And as soon as they walk outside, it's like, what the hell's happening? Is the world ending? No, it's humidity. It's 100 degrees plus humidity. That's what happens. And people from Florida will tell you get used to it. That's a lie. You never get used to that. It's like having the devil fart on you. It's just not pleasurable at all.
And it's a wet fart too. I'm just saying.
Oh,
I would probably like it because for me, if it gets below room temperature, I'm miserable. A couple weeks ago, John made a post about it being a negative 22, and we were a positive 22 here, and I was ready to stab people. I mean, I hate cold weather. Shorts and a t-shirt is my measurement. If I'm cold with shorts and a t-shirt, we need to heat it up.
See, I guess to me it's the opposite. And I told this to my wife: when it's cold, you can bundle up.
But you have to. That's the problem. I don't want to put a jacket on.
But in the heat, you can only get so naked before you're no longer allowed to work a school dance anymore.
But I'm
taken.
and it gets ridiculously hot. Have you been to Florida, MJ?
I've been close, but not in it. So I know how humid it is. I mean, I've spent a lot of time touring in the South, like through Nashville and Kentucky and all places down there.
But
and it's not quite the same as Florida, but I'm still okay with it over cold. I'll take that. I will take walking around in a drenched shirt over having one piece of snow fall out of the sky.
It's the moment you pass the Florida-Georgia line, suddenly it gets insanely hot. And Florida's the kind of state that Dollar General has to put a dress code because people will come in half naked. The Dollar General has to have a dress code.
I think what would bother me most about Florida is I heard a lot of bugs.
Oh, God, yes. That's...
Lots of bugs there.
Well, guys, we need to wrap things up here because it's time. We've talked a little bit about NAMM. There's a lot of stuff. If you guys get a chance, you can pop out to MJ's. We'll put the links to all of the YouTube channels in the video for those of you watching it tonight. We'll get it up here in a little bit, and then for tomorrow, guys, message me your 2 YouTube channels so I can put it up here from the office. We'll put those in the description so you can go check it out. MJ's got a lot of Matt episodes with some of the new products from the show. Arnoldo, you had some different wherever you had your videos put up. Send me that link, because he's got a lot of little clips from the show. And of course, our YouTube channel's got quite a few there. And I just turned my editing person onto it today, and we're going to be dropping, starting tomorrow, 2 or 3 videos every day from NAMM, because we have, I think, about 500 we shot.
Is that really your YouTube channel, Arnoldo?
Yeah, it's my DJ name. Listen, settle down, guy. All right.
I'm not even going to say what it is. That's okay.
What? It's my DJ name, DJ Crazy Ace. What did you think it said?
Oh, that's what it said, but I thought it was a joke. Sorry.
Oh.
Bad on me.
Oh, man. Suddenly MJ's got jokes. Oh, you know what? Did any of you guys get a chance to hear the Ultimate Ear station that they have? Which, by the way, busiest booth anywhere in NAMM by far.
That was right across from ADJ, correct?
Yeah, I mean, just a huge line because everybody want to get their ears measured, and they're like, "Oh, come try these." I've always said I'm never going to use in-ear monitors. Now I'm trying to explain to my wife, well, I want to put $1,400 on the credit card on a pair of in-ear monitors. Oh my God, but these are the high-end ones out of all of them. I'm telling you, it's like you're actually there. They sound absolutely amazing, and they don't hurt your ears.
Nice.
Yeah, I've used professional levels when I used to tour, and had some cheaper ones that Denon put out a few years ago. I love using them. I really do. Sorry.
Cool.
I'm answering someone in here while we're doing this.
Yeah, exactly. I think we're all doing
multitasking.
We're all doing different things here. Okay, I think I've got it. I'm
eating ravioli.
Yeah, like John said, we got a lot of stuff coming up here in the future. John's got a ridiculous amount of stuff that he has to go through editing. If you have ever been to, one of those things or on vacation and how many pictures you have to deal with when you get back, try multiplying that time a zillion as a new person at an expo that big. So there's lots of good stuff coming, stuff that we are not telling you about that John and I are discussing about shows and things developing. So 2016 for Disc Jockey News is going to be awesome.
And can we talk about the midgets you guys are bringing out, or was that secret?
No, that's secret. And but we
midgets.
The monthly rant, yes, that's what you said.
You're already on the show, Arnoldo.
Oh,
boom!
Alrighty, on that happy note, guys, thank you very much for being on and talking NAMM tonight. This will be uploaded as a separate video. I'll pull this apart and do that so everyone can see our NAMM chat tomorrow. It'll be awesome. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching tonight. That's MJ, that's Arnoldo. I'm John with the Disc Jockey News. Have yourself a great evening. Good night.